Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. A court order came down today, basically demanding that the SEC simply do its damn job. And I'll give you the specifics, but that's pretty much it. And as you well know, following the SEC v. Ripple case now for over 2 years, the SEC has endlessly engaged in delay tactics, and it's as non-responsive as possible. And that's part of what led to what we're seeing here today. But it is nice to see a court order telling the SEC that they must actually respond to something because that's what's right and that's what the organization is supposed to do. But they're absolutely awful little monsters over there. Also, there are rumors swirling all over social media and crypto media about a potential relisting of XRP because of a little get together between the chief legal officer of Coinbase and the chief legal officer of Ripple, and they shared a picture of themselves together. Now, I'm not saying that I buy into that concept, although I do suppose that ultimately once justice is done, however long it takes, at some point, presumably XRP will be back on Coinbase. I'm not taking this as some sort of sign, just my personal humble opinion. It's okay if you disagree, but I'm not taking this in and of itself as some sort of, actual indication that it's imminent or anything like that, but I want to share with you the specifics. Before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby, and just for fun. Just a minor amount of table setting before jumping into this first topic. Here is a headline from CNBC on April 24th, so it's been a good week and a half or so. Coinbase sues SEC after months of silence from federal regulator. And I covered this in pretty good detail back when this happened, and noted, of course, it's really nice to see the fight being brought to the SEC. And so here's the only part that you really need to know for the rest of the story to make sense. And just need to read the top part from CNBC. Crypto exchange Coinbase filed suit against the Securities and Exchange Commission on Monday, asking that the regulator be forced to publicly share its answer to a months-old petition on whether it would allow the crypto industry to be regulated using existing SEC frameworks. The July 2022 petition asked that the SEC propose and adopt rules to govern the regulation of securities that are offered and traded via digitally native methods, referring to digital assets like cryptocurrencies. So, folks, it's now May. We're talking about July of last year. So about 10 months. And finally, after that long, this much inaction, we get this headline today with the court forcing the SEC to just do its damn job. So here's the headline from Cointelegraph. SEC has 10 days to respond to Coinbase complaint, legal exec. According to a May 4th announcement from Coinbase Chief Legal Officer Paul Grewal, the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit responded to the complaint against the United States Securities and Exchange Commission regarding the need for clear rules for trading digital assets. This marks a development in the legal battle for regulatory clarity. According to Grewal, the court's response to their complaint against the SEC was a text-only order. The court has instructed the SEC to respond to Coinbase's writ of mandamus within 10 days. A writ of mandamus is a court order addressed to an inferior government official, ordering them to fulfill their official duties properly. Yeah, so in a nutshell, basically this is used when a government agency is not doing their job. Like it literally is just what I stated at the outset of the video. And so you may recall that Attorney John Deaton, I believe it was January 1st of 2021, so right after the SEC v. Ripple lawsuit dropped, about a week, Attorney John Deaton filed a writ of mandamus. And I don't remember literally all the specifics, but that was the first suit against the SEC, and it was basically just to get the ball rolling, and it was absolutely because the SEC wasn't doing its job. So in this particular case, as it pertains to Coinbase, it worked, and the court came down and said, yes, absolutely, do your damn job, little punk-ass bitches. Grewal stated that the court had granted Coinbase the right to file a reply to the SEC's response within 7 days of the filing. He also expressed appreciation for the court's thorough examination of the case. And so it is nice to see that, the strong majority of the headlines, pertaining to the SEC and actual court developments, certainly in 2023 at least, not been so positive. Not been so positive for the SEC. And here's just another example of a court forcing this, is like twisting the arm of the SEC. Do your damn job. And also, as a friendly reminder, as it pertains to, and this is non-crypto, but as it pertains to the SEC's win rate at the Supreme Court level, they have lost the last 5 out of 6 court cases at the Supreme Court. It's very clear that this government agency has basically gone rogue. Like, they're just doing whatever the hell they want. They're outside the confines of legal precedent and what is right. They're not acting in faithful allegiance to the law. That's very clear. Judge Knepper stated that in the SEC v. Ripple case. They're just doing whatever the hell they want. But, they may think that they can get away with it speaking amongst one another in their little echo chamber, but they're actually not getting away with this stuff. They are getting smacked down, and I cannot wait to see Judge Torres destroy them as it pertains to the SEC v. Ripple case. And there's no guarantee that will happen, but I'm optimistic at a minimum as it pertains to secondary market transactions for XRP holders. We're probably going to get some good news, but we'll see. And then there's this from the Crypto Basic. Coinbase top official responds to XRP relisting in latest interview. And look, again, like I said, I think it's an inevitability. XRP is going to be back on Coinbase because I do believe justice shall be done. It's just a question of how long that's going to take, and it depends on the language of what comes down from Judge Torres. Piece reads as follows. Paul Graywell, the chief legal officer of America's largest exchange, Coinbase, has outlined the prerequisites for relisting XRP on the platform. Graywell disclosed this while speaking with host Ash Bennington on the latest episode of Real Vision's Crypto Daily Briefing Show. Notably, Graywell fielded questions from crypto proponents regarding Coinbase's lawsuit against the U.S. SEC, the legal climate surrounding the U.S. crypto industry, and how it affects its regulatory trajectory. One of the questions Bennington forwarded to Graywell came from Eddie. So we're talking about Crypto Eddie here, of course, my fellow XRP YouTuber, a prominent influencer within the XRP community. Eddie asked, quote, if the court finds secondary market sales of XRP are not securities, how would that affect the listing of XRP on Coinbase, end quote. That's an excellent question. Now, in response, Graywell emphasized that Coinbase always evaluates and reevaluates decisions surrounding the listing of assets on its platform. He pointed out that the exchange had to disable trading for XRP due to the lawsuit from the U.S. SEC, which started in December 2020. Graywell stressed that while XRP is still subject to litigation 2 years later, the Coinbase team is watching out for Judge Annalisa Torres' ruling on the case. And so I still think that a major factor in Coinbase delisting XRP is the fact that they were seeking to go public, and that requires approval from the SEC, and they ultimately did just several months after the lawsuit dropped at the end of 2020. And so I guess it was the middle of April, I want to say, in 2021, the IPO did occur. Now, that being said, although that was a major factor, undoubtedly, I think anyway, I still think that they probably would have just delisted XRP out of an abundance of caution. That's what the vast majority of exchanges did. But I definitely appreciate the boldness of exchanges like, for instance, Uphold, which never delisted XRP. And by the way, as a result of every other exchange under the sun in the United States anyway, delisting XRP, it was just a windfall for Uphold. They now have, I want to say, I think the figure was over $1 billion, or it was either $1 billion worth of XRP or $1 billion XRP. I can't remember what it was. I want to say $1 billion worth of XRP. And it accounts for close to a third of their total trading. Maybe it was like 28%. I'm kind of pulling from memory here, but just a massive amount of trading. So good for them for having the guts to follow through this, because they went to their legal team, and the legal team that they hired said, look, there's no precedent for anything like this. The SEC is just out of their damn minds. And I think that, a lot of that activity is probably going to stick with Uphold once this is all said and done. And I think they build a lot of loyalty within the XRP community because they actually have had the guts to follow through with all this. And then there's this from the Crypto Basic. Ripple and Coinbase chief legal officers meet. XRP listing coming? Question mark. It's a question, so my voice goes up like this. In a tweet today, Coinbase chief legal officer Paul Gruel thanked Ripple's general counsel Stuart Alderati for hosting him. And by the way, I'll note that this is Stuart Alderati's profile. He says that his label right here is chief legal officer, not general counsel. Though I do know that he used to state that his title is general counsel. Either way, as far as I know, it just means top in-house legal guy, so I don't know why he changed it, but the Crypto Basic is technically incorrect, even though I think it's effectively the same thing. I'm just noting it, whatever. Piece continues, though. Graywell, who noted that the duo needed to meet more often, attached a photo of him and Alderati, probably taken after the meeting. Reacting to the tweet, Alderati thanked Graywell for coming over and chatting with Ripple's legal team at the company's offsite. And there's the picture of them right there, just hanging out best buds. And so this is why people are like, so Relist XRP? And it is good to see it come together, though, and at least, have some conversation here. Now, attorney John Deaton also shared that picture and wrote the following. Many XRP holders don't view Coinbase as a friend. I get it. I understand why. But not being a friend is not the same as being an enemy. And sometimes, out of a sheer need for survival, the enemy of my enemy becomes my friend. I hear a picture can be worth over 1,000 XRP. Well stated, attorney John Deaton. So, I have a lot of problems with Coinbase, Frank. I'm just not happy with how they've been treating, our community just in general, with the delay of, handing out the Flare tokens, not addressing the fact that they have XRP holders Songbird tokens, and apparently they're just not going to give them out. Now you have attorney Fred Rispoli, member of the XRP community, actually suing Coinbase, currently suing. That dropped, a couple months or so ago. And so we'll see how long that takes to play out, but soon to try and get that the Songbird tokens into the hands of XRP holders. There's all sorts of stuff here that I'm not exactly thrilled with. But what Attorney Deaton says rings true to me. And we do need to come together and push back against the SEC. So I'm glad that Coinbase more recently is displaying something that resembles a backbone when it comes to handling the SEC. So we'll see what occurs. And I think that they're on the right side of history when it comes to the SEC's attacks against them. But it's quite the uphill battle. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.